In this video, we're going to go over and cover how to take a look at your campaigns after they're running, review them, make adjustments, um, and respond to whether or not the campaign is performing as you expect. So in this case, we're going to take a look at this engagement campaign that I have running for a client. I'm going to filter this down. I have some inactive campaigns that we had started, but I'm going to filter this down. And the way I filter down campaigns is I can build a filter and say new filter and say the campaign name contains if I want to, or I could change that to a various of items. I can get down to looking at campaigns by set name and various things. So anytime you want, if you have as you grow and you have a lot of campaigns, you want to give them unique names. I'm gonna put an engagement. It's probably going to give me more than one. Yeah, but that's fine. So I'm looking at this campaign here, which is my engagement campaign. So I'm going to click on the view chart button and I can get some details on my campaign. So right now this campaign has reached 87 people, and after reaching 87 people, I've gotten 4 new page likes from this campaign. We've spent a total of cost per result is 93 cents. The total amount spent so far is $3.72. So remember, I said in previous videos that I like to stay under $1. So right now, as this campaign is performing, I'm pretty happy with it. It's performing under $1 as I expect, and my conversion rate is hovering right almost at 4% where I like it to be, but 3.81. I'm not gonna panic. I'm gonna keep an eye on both the result of my campaign, the amount I'm spending per result, before I go in and make any adjustments. You can see when you click on the pencil icon, I can see it's a page like. It's based on auctions. I have 2 ad sets running and 2 different ads running for this campaign. So this is a nice overview of what's happening with the campaign that you can get if you lose track of what you're doing. Just head back to this area and you can see what that campaign is doing. This is just nothing more than a activity report that shows how the campaign started off, when it was pending, when it went live. Gives me all the activities related to it. Now I'm going to go look at the ad sets that I have running. I have 2 ad sets running right now. I'm going to now, what was happening here is initially when I started this second campaign set, the client provided us with an email list, and I'll show you how the 2 ad sets work out. We have an overall budget in mind that we want to spend. At some point, we're either going to split the budget in half or kill or pause one of the campaigns, because our total objective for the course of I think it's 90 days is to only spend $90 or $1 a day. So we're going to hold these 2 ad sets to that by making a modification, but we want to see which one's performing better. Right now the other one has a 4-day head start. It took us a few days to get it, but you can see 90 days here, 87 days here. They're running in concert together. This one literally just started, so we'll keep an eye on this one after 24 to 72, somewhere between 24 to 72 hours. If it's performing better than the other one, we may pause it. If they both start to perform, we'll probably split the money in half so that we can keep both campaigns going. Let's take a look at our Cooper City engagement campaign. This is the campaign that is generating the current results. It's got four page likes. It's costing us 92 cent per each click or each like. We're getting about a 3.88% conversion. You can get a nice little graph on that. I'm going to turn around and show you the page that we're targeting will come up. The budget is set right here where we can modify that budget. Remember what I'm telling you here, my audience. Look at what they're promising me. Now we're going to run this campaign for 90 days. Let me go back after my calculator again. So I got 90 days where I want this campaign to reach. 90 times 27 is 2,430. So my audience was 1,100 people. I'm going to divide that up by 1,100 people. And you can see that my current strategy is I'm going to run this light campaign across my audience at least twice on the worst case scenario, right? They've promised me 2 page likes per day, somewhere between 2 and 13. So this is good as well. We can achieve about 2 a day or 13. Let's look at what would happen if we got 2 a day at 90 days, right? I'd have 180 new fans. The objective of this campaign over the course of 90 days is to raise the client's current fan base, which is 800 and some change, up to about 1,000 fans. That's what we're looking to do. Now, on the low level, this campaign will achieve that. On the high level, if we were to get 13 fans a day at 90 days, we'd end up with 1,170 fans. So we're going to be watching really closely to see if we can actually get that to happen. There's not much we can do to control that. We have the audience that we've selected, so we hope that we can achieve that type of those type of campaign results. But always do a check and balance back to your campaigns to make sure that they're meeting up to the objective that you're trying to achieve, because if they're not, you might need to make an adjustment in your overall audience. Here's my audience here. It's 17 miles around Cooper City. I've done some exclusion. Obviously, if I'm trying to build fans for my page, I want to exclude anyone who's currently a fan of the page. I have an age group, I have an interest, and I'm also narrowing those people down to folks that like potlucks. So I have a really tight target group here. And I kept messing with this group and narrowing down the mile radius and everything to get to this part of where I'm not just showing the ad once, at least a couple times was my objective. And I'm going to reach that objective. If I can get more in between, I'm going to. I don't think I did the math on that. 130 times 90. We bring back up my little calculator here. I can't remember if I just that quick if I did that math. 130 times 90 would be 11,700 people divided by 1,100 people would get me a nice reach of 10.6. That means this ad would show to people 10 times, which is very important because you got to understand people are scrolling through their news feeds relatively quickly, sometimes just looking for something somebody told them about a post. So there is a chance that they're not going to stop and smell the roses and pick your or like your page. So running at them once is going to cost you money on the reach. Running at them multiple times, if you got the money, is well worth it. So hopefully we see the frequency rate. I'd be really happy to see a frequency of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over into the ad itself. So I have the Cooper City engagement. Again, I'm going to click the view chart. You can, again, the stats are shown. I've got 4 new page likes out of it. So far, I've reached 86 people and counting. It's costed $3.72 off of that ad. Let's go into the ad itself and take a look. We give the ad a name. We're the same page. Bring awareness to the environment, compassion to animals, and overall improvement. 2. That's how it looks on the desktop feed. Let's take a look at how it looks on the mobile feed. Overall awareness to human improvement and health, #vegan. So we're getting cut off here. Remember what I said about if you're getting cut off, you might as well drop the text. It's not effective. In fact, let me see if we can get some stats here, some better stats. So I showed you the 4 page results, I showed you that there's 86 people reached, but what I didn't show you is, let's take a look at the demographics. Here's what's going on. We've deliberately excluded, we started at the age group of 25, so we shouldn't see anyone 13 to 24 in our group. But as you hover over the individual items, you can see that between the ages of 25 and 34, I have women that have at a 25 that have done a like. So 25% is in the women category. And if I scroll down a little bit more over here, I got some men. I'm getting one off the men in the age group of 55 to 64. And then over here with the women again, I have 22 women, which is making up about 50%, 65 and plus. This is an important matrix for you to look at because it speaks to the performance. 11 women between the ages of 65 and plus were shown, two liked. So you get to get a good sense of how it's performing. Look at this age group here. 12 people were shown in that age group that were women. None of them liked the page. But over here in the men category, when two people were shown, one person did like. If you pull out your calculator and you do the math on that, I show 2 minute, one likes. That's a 50% return rate on that. It doesn't calculate that there, but keep those numbers in mind. You gotta be semi good in math when you're doing this, okay? To know where you're getting the best performance. So that's how the demographics look from men versus women to likes, the actual page likes versus reach. Now, and you can see what it's costing you per result to reach those people. So you can get a good 33 cents over here. It's more expensive to reach the men in this particular category than it was to reach the women. Facebook will end up giving you recommendations and telling you to build an audience that just goes after that. You might change up the ad, put a picture of a woman, just target women that are in that age group, because if you're already seeing the performance, but if you're seeing the performance that's giving those results, you want to stick with that. Now let's look at the placement. Okay, the placement is important. Okay, this is a Facebook page like campaign, so you're not going to have any audience, Instagram, or Messenger type of results in this data stat, because it is an engagement campaign. But as you can see, it gives you the whole breakdown of the reach versus the page results. But let's take a look and learn where that's coming from. This is mobile and desktop together. Let's look at desktop only. Notice in desktop, I get a reach of 3 people, but no page likes. So let's go look at mobile only, and here's where the story's at. I got an 84 reach, and my page likes are coming from mobile. So if I constantly preach that mobile is a very strong, there's a very strong presence of mobile users in Facebook. Therefore, as a result, make sure those landing pages out there are mobile ready. In this case, being that we're only doing page likes and they're being taken to the Facebook page, we don't have to worry about it. But do pay attention to that desktop is got a reach, but it's even the reach on desktop is weak. And that's not because we did anything in the configuration of the campaign. It is just because there are fewer people accessing Facebook with desktop, and you can clearly see the ratio between the two. This type of data is very important to look at. Now that's one ad. I'm going to jog back over here to campaigns. To my ad sets, because I have 2 ad sets running. So here's another ad set. Now this one's relatively new. It just was recently launched. So the stats aren't in yet. We have no page likes as of yet. Let's look at desktop. Again, 1 reach on desktop, and on mobile, five reaches. Okay, so we can see what's being spent at the moment is we're at 9 cents. So we're paying a little bit over a penny per reach on this campaign. That number will improve as more and more people come on. This particular audience, let me see if I can go back to, oh, here we go. This particular audience is a custom audience that was based on a custom list. So, and that custom list was, let me see, I'm under the campaign. I'm going to go right into the ad set here for this audience. Yes. So it was built off of a custom list. The custom audience was the mail list of the client, where we have 2,100 people in that target group. And I think I deliberately went for, believe it or not, now here I'm going to pull up the calculator, and this is not going to work out. I think this campaign is set to run for 87 days. So I'm going to take the 87 days and I'm going to multiply it by the 19. And you see that that's under the audience that my potential reach. And why I did this, why didn't I go for the multiple hits? This audience, for lack of a better word, is already vetted. These people know the brand, they're familiar with it, no introduction is needed. They are part of an email marketing campaign. They've already given up their email addresses. But what we identified, there were 2,700 people in the list originally. Then we did a reverse of who's already a Facebook fan, and 600 of them did drop out. So our potential audience reach became 2,100. So that's a huge number. We had 2,100 people out of our 2,700 mail list. The mail list is greater than that, but when we loaded it into Facebook, only 2,700 out of I believe 3,200 were actually on Facebook. The 2,700 were on Facebook out of 3,200. So, and then we found that of the 2,700, 600 are already fans, which is great. But what's up with these 2,100 people? So instead of running a campaign that would circulate the message to them multiple times, we're just going to go one time at them and try to pick up as many fans on our email list as possible. This will be an ongoing effort. So we'll run it for 87 days, but I suspect after the 87 days is done, we'll shake out what we have. The list will continue to optimize itself because we're excluding people who are fans. So there's no way for the person, once they like the page, to become a fan. We'll come back after 48 hours, check to see how this is doing. If we're not getting what we want, we may go in and further narrow the list, and the way we will end up doing that is probably by city. We won't use any other criteria. This is the group we want, but it is possible that we may either need to mess with the age group based on some other information we're getting about the demographics of the overall page. We're going to take a look at a lot of options to bring this down. Placement is set. My budget is set. Two per day is what we're hoping for. Let's bring my calculator back up again. If we can get to 2 per day, you can see we won't make a big dent out of the list. 2 times 87 days is 174. So we won't make a big dent out of our list. We won't get all 100%. But if we got the best case scenario, the 12 times the 87, we can end up with over almost 50% of the list would possibly become fans if we really got 12 per day. That is really our hope. Our goal again is to try to get the fan base of the client up to 1,000. But if we can get past 1,000 and get up to 2,000, that would be awesome, especially if these are people that are already interested in the brand. So that's kind of why we're running 2 campaigns, or no, I'm sorry, 2 ad sets off of 1 campaign that's going on right now. Both are engagement. Both have been approved. Let me hit refresh really quick to see if any stats have changed. Reload the page. I want to do that a lot. Yep, we're already up to 6 people. It's reached, so they're coming online. We got that ad right in front of them just in time. I think, let me see here. Yeah, we started that campaign today. We were having some difficulty getting that campaign to launch. Facebook was actually offline for a few days for engagement. But this is what we have going on. We'll come back tomorrow, take another look. 48 hours, 72 or so. Probably by Thursday or Friday, we'll decide between these two campaigns if one should go or they should stay. Again, I believe and I'm hoping that this mail list campaign that the client has from MailerLite will actually perform much better than the folks that we don't know. At the moment, they have a head start, but we'll take a look and see in a few days how things are going. And that's how you keep track of your ad campaigns using Facebook. Don't forget, you go to Ads Manager, it drops you into the page. Okay, thanks.